You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Matter. Topping our news tonight, Manatee County will be beefing up security in schools throughout the county as a response to the recent school shooting in Broward County. The plan is to add dozens more school resource officers in the coming days. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us tonight with more from the Manatee County School District headquarters.
Well, the school board here in Manatee County did give the green light to add lots of law enforcement. Starting on Monday, there will be 35 more deputies and officers at schools throughout the county. Parents taking their kids to school on Monday, March 5th, will notice a much greater law enforcement presence. The Manatee County School District says deputies will now be in every elementary school in unincorporated Manatee County. As for the high schools, there will now be 2 deputies instead of 1. The middle schools will still have 1 deputy in each school.
This is a direct response to the aftermath of the horrible shooting in Parkland at Douglas High School.
In recent days, there have been threats to a few schools which forced some of the schools to go into lockdown mode. Bradenton resident Glenn Jabalina is the father of a 16-year-old student. He tells us adding nearly 3 dozen more school resource officers to Manatee County schools is a step in the right direction.
I think temporarily it'll be a good fix. I think in the long term we need to take another look at our gun laws and do a temporary ban on assault rifles.
Superintendent of Manatee County Schools, Dr. Diana Green, met with the sheriff and all the police chiefs in the county to discuss beefing up security in the schools. The school board says they will dip into their reserves and hopefully get assistance from the state to help cover the estimated $400,000 needed for the additional officers for the remainder of the school year.
The school district is prepared to ensure that the funds are there to provide for these officers to be on duty in the schools beginning Monday morning.
And Manatee County School Board Chair Dr. Scott Hopes will be in Tallahassee on Wednesday. He'll be there speaking with state officials about receiving funding for these extra officers. Reporting from Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, thank you so much, Rick. School safety is a concern in the city of Venice as well. Today, the city council increased funding for school resource officers, opening the door to a full-time officer at Venice Elementary School. In the past, Venice High School and Venice Elementary have shared an officer. However, Venice police are asking to increase security. The police department hopes to have a new officer hired and trained by the end of this school year. In the meantime, patrol officers are assigned to stay at the schools during the school day. And a school safety measure is moving its way through the Florida legislature and was approved by another panel today. It would allow specially trained teachers to bring their guns to class, raise the age from 18 to 21 to buy rifles or long guns, and create a commission that will explore failures in the education and law enforcement systems prior to the Parkland shooting. One of the most controversial parts of that plan would allow some properly trained teachers to carry a gun in the classroom.
We see over and over again a disturbing trend, which is that as mass shootings are on the rise in this state and in this country, these weapons of war, military-style assault weapons, have become the gold standard for mass murderers.
A House and Senate panel both approved that measure today. The earliest the full Senate will look at the bill is on Friday. Parents in Sarasota High School officials are concerned with a local street. School Avenue runs right through the middle of campus, and while it's closed to vehicles during the day, it is, however, open to the public, giving anyone access to students. The avenue is city property, so it's a public sidewalk. Principal David Jones says it can be a threat to student safety, but hopes it can be fixed in the future.
What we picture is having a perimeter fence around the entire campus. And what you do is in the morning you have 2 or 3 access points where students can enter the campus. Once the 7:30 bell rings, you nail it down so that there's just one access point where we can monitor everybody that's coming in and leaving.
However, not everyone is in support of closing School Avenue. The local neighborhood group has written to the City Commission asking that they keep School Avenue open. And Riverview High School getting a new principal, and she's no stranger to the school or the district. Erin Del Castillo will be the principal for Riverview starting next school year. Right now, she's the principal at Venice Elementary, and she was the assistant principal at Riverview for 5 years prior. She will replace Paul Burns, who left Riverview at the end of last year to take a position with the Florida Department of Education. Del Castillo is scheduled to start her new role on July 1st. Well, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our first alert forecast and what you can expect for tomorrow morning. Bob.
Well, good evening, everyone. A beautiful day today. It was a warm one too, 85 degrees. It seems a string of 80s continues now up to 11 days in a row. It looks like 86, the record. So we were close to it. We didn't set it, but very, very close to at least tying it. Well, there's a weak frontal boundary down to our south. A high pressure system is still building in behind it very quickly. And we're going to see another warm day tomorrow. A quick moving system moving through parts of Tennessee tonight. We'll stay well to our north, but we are staying in this warm sector at least for the next 48 hours, and then things will start to change as a stronger cold front will move on through. We had some light rainfall around at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport just recently. Very light rain at that. Dew point is at 63. We have an east wind at 13. The pressure continues to be way up there, 30 and 19. There's that quick hitting system now moving off to the northeast. As I mentioned, a few brief showers have been moving through, but not a lot going on right now. Most of it winding down as it pushes off into the Gulf. Well, much more on this cold front and how cool things will get coming up in a few minutes. Back to you, Jacqueline.
Okay, thank you so much, Bob. Republican legislative leaders in the state are starting their final negotiations on a new budget with only a week left to finish the session on time. The session is scheduled to end on March 9th, but state law requires that the budget be finished 72 hours before a final vote. The Senate budget chairman says the legislators have agreed on how much to spend overall, and the House and Senate agree to set aside about $80 million for tax cuts. The new budget will also include nearly $400 million to improve safety and provide mental health services in our schools. And just 2 weeks after the special election race for the House District 72 seat, there are some already putting their name in the hat for November's election. State Representative Margaret Good was elected 2 weeks ago tonight in that special election, and the next election is just 8 months away. Former state representative and Republican Ray Pilon has announced he will be running, as well as Teresa Mast and Libertarian Allison Foxall, who ran against Good in the special election, also running despite only receiving less than 3% of the vote. The state capitol may soon get a memorial showing the inhumanity of slavery. The decision is now up to Governor Rick Scott. The Senate unanimously passing a bill today to create that memorial. The bill's sponsor says it's important for Floridians to recognize that slaves worked around the state when Florida was a territory and during the beginning of its statehood. A similar bill was proposed last year, but it was blocked by a Republican senator who was a descendant of a Confederate soldier. And Mote Marine Laboratory is actively researching Florida stone crabs and how the species is impacted by ocean acidification. The first study on its effects was published this month by a Mote scientist. It offers ways to relieve environmental stress on the crabs. Florida's stone crabs harvest has declined about 25% since the start of the century. Mote scientists are studying the crabs under different environmental conditions to help managers sustain the fishery. Well, stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, a federal judge gives the green light to build President Trump's border wall. Plus, the president's son-in-law and senior advisor Jared Kushner stripped of his high-level security clearance. Why Chief of Staff John Kelly says he's cracking down.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
We all love our kids and want what's best for them. You have the power to help your kids learn to succeed in life every day. When you promote a love for learning at home, children build the skills they need to be ready for school. You can be their everyday hero. It's easy. Just text Everyday Hero to 77453 for simple learning tips.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
ABC7 News at 7, weeknights.
Well, some great weather for baseball, despite it being a little hot. At least it's not rainy, right?
Right, absolutely. You know, that's a big point, because all February long it's been very dry, and sometimes fronts come down on a regular basis, like every 5 days or so, and can rain out tee times.
Right.
And also the captains who take out charters, those are planned well in advance, and so they've had no problems with that either. Even the fishing's been a little bit better too, because the water temperature's warmed up now to 76, which is highly unusual for this time of year. It's been a highly unusual month, February has. And again, I wrote a little article about all the records being broken. Again, check that out at mysuncoast.com and just see how warm it has been this February. Things are changing, though. I hope you didn't put your jackets and sweaters quite away. Get a look at this. Captain Kurt, Suncoast sunset tomorrow will be at 6:55. That's an interesting shot there off the bow of the sailboat as you see the sunset in the background. Thanks for that, Captain. Skip Ross getting this from Longboat Key. And Michelle was out kind of checking things out. She saw the moon, the palm tree, the clouds, and even what she thought was a planet underneath the moon right there. Well, Casey Key webcam. The beach weather couldn't be better. The water temperatures in the mid-70s, allowing people to swim here in late February for the past couple of weeks now. It's been nice. Well, we've had a few brief showers around, just a little bit of isolated shower here and there as we expected, and you can see that now winding down as it moves off into the Gulf. That's simply due to the warm temperatures today, just enough low-level moisture around, a little sea breeze developed. That we had some convergence set up. That's typical of our summer pattern. Obviously, summer pattern, 90-degree temperatures, much more humidity, and bigger storms develop. But we did see the same kind of mechanics develop this afternoon. Well, this is a low-pressure storm center, which is going to move very quickly off to the northeast. This is not going to have a huge impact on our weather, but there's another one downstream which will move in and eventually develop a cold front and sweep that cold front our way, and that cold front will be a bigger one. So we'll get that taste of winter again. March is going to come in like a lamb, so it'll be very weak. It'll be warm on Thursday. And then as far as the front is concerned, that comes in on Friday. That cools us down for the weekend, and it looks like temperatures will get back to seasonal averages, maybe even slightly below that on Sunday morning. Well, I told you about it earlier. We have a light shower at the airport, 71 degrees, east winds at 13. Most people staying dry tonight, 30-19 on the barometer. It's way up there. High pressure still dominating. We'll do so for the next couple of days. 85 the high, 1 degree shy of the record of 86. Now, temperatures a bit cooler in Jacksonville. It's 71 here, 74 in Miami, and 63 in Orlando. Key West not reporting tonight. 76 on the water temperature. Usually it's around 65 for this time. 71 in Mayaca City, 71 in Arcadia, all pretty much in the low 70s from Inglewood, Venice, Northport, all the way up into Longboat Key as well. And the forecast tomorrow, 82 the high. You can see from the forecast we're going to see this east to southeasterly wind, but then here comes the front. Thursday, it should be over the Panhandle, eventually sweeping through here Friday morning. We'll see much cooler temperatures this weekend. Warm, though, until then. Even Friday will be 77, 78 degrees, but that's the transition day. We'll start to see cooler weather over the weekend. It will be noticeably drier, too. We're not anticipating much fog tonight, not as much as we saw last night and this morning. So the fog won't be nearly as much of a problem. This is the European forecast model showing you that system developing again over the southeast and that front coming through relatively dry. There'll be a few showers, I think, on Friday morning. We'll see some of that activity around, but temperatures not too terribly bad. Minneapolis now at 36, Chicago 51, and highs tomorrow 42 in Minneapolis, 32 in Minot. So the winter's slowly getting over, but I still think we're going to see a couple of drops of the Arctic air southward. East winds turn to the west at 10 knots. Seas running 1 to 2 feet with a light chop out there. And for the big ball game, ABC7 will be there at Ed Smith Stadium. You want to stop by and say hello to everyone. We'll be there. 80 degrees on Thursday, cooling on Friday. And then look at this, a gorgeous weekend, an Academy Award, you might say, winner of a weekend, 74 for the high on Sunday. Back to you, Jacqueline.
Okay, thank you so much, Bob. And now we're taking a look into a hazmat incident at Joint Base Meyer Henderson next to the Arlington Cemetery and close to the Pentagon. 2 Marines have been affected by an unknown substance found in an envelope. Martha Raditz gives us the latest.
Joint Base Meyer is just across the river from Washington. It is where the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff lives and several of the service chiefs as well. Hazmat units immediately surrounded this building where a Marine Corps Administration Battalion is headquartered. That is Arlington Cemetery you see in the background. Late this afternoon, a Marine opened an envelope containing an unknown substance. That's when several Marines started feeling a burning sensation on their faces and hands. The building was evacuated while hazmat units doused those who were affected. 11 Marines were assessed on the scene, 3 of them transported to a medical facility. The FBI has sent the substance to Quantico to be tested to see what exactly that substance is, but the Marines are in stable condition. Martha Raditz, ABC News, Washington.
A federal judge is refusing to put the brakes on the construction of a border wall with Mexico. Opponents went to court saying the Trump administration illegally waived environmental laws before the construction. The decision gives a green light for building 14 miles of border wall southwest of San Diego. The Department of Justice says it's pleased that the judge gave the go-ahead for the wall construction, although Mexico still refuses to pay for it. And the president's son-in-law and senior advisor Jared Kushner has been stripped of his temporary high-level security clearance under new rules imposed by White House Chief of Staff John Kelly. ABC's Serena Marshall has more from Washington.
Following a nearly 15-month review, Jared Kushner will no longer have regular access to the nation's most closely guarded secrets. The senior advisor and son-in-law to the president stripped of his temporary security clearance.
Every day, I come to work with enthusiasm and excitement for what can be.
The blow after Chief of Staff John Kelly cracked down on West Wing staff working on temporary clearances, following the scandal and resignation of former White House staffer Rob Porter. When asked about Kushner's clearance last week, the president offered praise, but said ultimately,
I will let General Kelly make that decision, and he's going to do what's right for the country.
Kushner's clearance has been pending since the inauguration, after he required several updates to his security forms for failing to disclose multiple foreign contacts before he entered the administration. With a portfolio that includes solving the Middle East peace process, improving ties with Mexico, and criminal justice reform, the White House offering only words of support.
He's a valued member of the team.
On Capitol Hill, Kushner ignoring questions, but a spokesperson saying Mr. Kushner has done more than what is expected of him in this process, and no concerns were raised about Mr. Kushner's application.
The Washington Post is reporting that at least 4 countries, including China and Israel, privately discussed ways they hoped they could manipulate Kushner, including taking advantage of his complex business arrangements, financial difficulties, and lack of foreign policy experience. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
Back here at home, federal investigators are still actively searching for a missing Sarasota teen, and Sarasota police are reminding the public they still need your help. There's a $50,000 reward for information in Jabez Span's disappearance. This weekend marks 6 months since 14-year-old Jabez went missing from Sarasota. He was last seen outside of his grandmother's home in Newtown. Anyone with information is being asked to contact Crime Stoppers. The Sarasota Police Department recognizing local and high school students for designing the cover of the department's annual report. Sarasota PD received dozens of submissions designed with crayons, photos, digital media, and paint. Chief Bernadette DePino will use Evelyn Kroger's art on the final report. She's an 8th grade student at Brookside Middle School. The students will be also recognized and honored by Chief DePino at the City Commission meeting on Monday. Well, stay with us. Sports is coming up next.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
Mark Zupan, part of the U.S. Paralympic rugby team. In my game, movement is everything. I get frustrated when my move is blocked, especially when that guy has no right to be there, even just for a minute. I love a challenge, but I don't like to play this game every day.
A message from the United Spinal Association.
My life motto is keep moving. And as hard as it was when my husband passed away, I knew I had to keep doing what I love. Oops, coming. But I needed help with my insurance, and that's what the NAIC provides. They have resources to help you and your family make the best decision, and they'll help you to keep moving forward, just like me.
In life after the military, it's our duty as veterans to have each other's back. I'm retired Colonel Greg Gatson, and it's my mission to help you get the benefits and services you've earned. If you need to file a VA claim, remember these important steps. Submit an online claim through ebenefits.va.gov. Work with an accredited Veteran Service Organization, or VSO. And if you need to attend a VA claim exam, please go. Visit this website to learn what to expect.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking an experienced broadcast engineer to provide technical support for all broadcast equipment. TV broadcast background required. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply. Now, sports.
The Major League Baseball Players Association has filed a grievance against 4 teams, including 2 here in Florida. All eyes are on the Miami Marlins, Oakland Athletics, Pittsburgh Pirates, and Tampa Bay Rays, with the association accusing the teams of failing to appropriately spend revenue-sharing money. The union says the grievance was filed on Friday. Major League Baseball says the complaint has, quote, no merit. If the case is not settled, it would proceed to a hearing before an independent arbitrator. Baseball's labor agreement says each club must use its revenue-sharing money in an effort to improve its performance on the field. And the Rays hosting the Orioles this afternoon in Port Charlotte. In the first inning, Tampa Bay's Christian Arroyo is at the plate. He grounds into a double play and it scores Dennard Span from third base. And today's his birthday, by the way. In the third inning, an interesting moment. Luis Sardinas is at the plate for the Orioles. The ball goes out of play, but a fan on the berm badly misplaced the ball and collapses on the ground. The Orioles would still get 2 runs. The final score, Orioles win 2-1. In just one game happening on the Suncoast tomorrow, the Orioles will host the St. Louis Cardinals at Ed Smith Stadium. By the way, it's also ABC7 Day at the ballpark, so make sure you come out and see all of your favorite ABC7 crew members. First pitch is set for 1:05 p.m. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning motto numbers when we come back.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Thousands of award-winning Honda SUVs are on sale from $189 a month during the Honda President's Day sales event. You've got to see these SUVs. Get a surprisingly spacious 2018 HR-V, $189 a month, or step up to Pilot for $289 a month with available seating for 8. Plus, we have Motor Trend's SUV of the Year, the 2018 CR-V, and Ridgeline, a Car and Driver's 10 Best. All on sale for up to $3,805, less than the competition at your local Honda dealer.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Tickets are going fast for My Hometown Fest, Saturday, March 3rd from noon to 5 at Nathan Benderson Park. Enjoy foods from 40 area restaurants, 40+ craft beers, live music, and lots of fun. Get your tickets today at myhometownfest.org.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
I'll be right back.
ABC7 News at 7, weeknights. The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
A classic children's novel is now a big screen adventure. Among the stars, Oprah Winfrey. George Panacio takes us to the world premiere in Hollywood.
I said at the Golden Globes, a new day is on the horizon. This is it. This is the horizon. We are here.
Oprah Winfrey says she is the #1 cheerleader for A Wrinkle in Time.
Be a warrior.
She plays one of 3 celestial guides, helping a teenage girl navigate her way through time and space in a sometimes dangerous adventure to find her long-lost father.
Your father's trapped by an evil energy.
It's too strong for our light.
Storm Reed is the film's young leading lady.
I just had to believe in myself, and I knew that Miss Ava believed in me, and that the Misses, or Miss Reese and Miss Oprah, Miss Mindy believed in me, and that they were in my corner if I needed any help.
Did you have the kid in heart with you the entire time you were making it?
I found my inner Ava, my little Ava,
while I was making this movie. Before I had made 13th and Selma, darker subject matter. It was really Wrinkle in Time that let me find the light again.
You can't talk about filmmaking in 2018 and not bring Ava's name up. You know, so this idea that she, being a filmmaker at the top of her game, you know, chose to make this story and make this story for children. You know, it's so incredible and so special.
For this movie, some famous faces made their way down the carpet, including Kobe Bryant and his wife, Vanessa.
She's harmless. You're 6.
When Derek McCabe told his friends he was in a movie with Oprah, Reese Witherspoon, and Mindy Kaling,
They were like, who are those people? And then they figured it out and they were like, yeah, no way. And they walked away and I'm like, okay.
I knew that when I was doing this movie, that there are going to be kids who see this movie who say, you're Mrs. Witch. And then I'm going to say, yes, and I had a talk show too. Thank you.
you can see Oprah and the cast of A Wrinkle in Time when it hits theaters March 9th. In Hollywood, George Pinocchio for ABC News.
Looks like a great movie. And lastly, I wanted to give a shout out. I was able to MC the Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County Youth of the Year dinner tonight. Some great students that were able to get some of those awards and get some post-secondary education scholarships. So awesome for them.
Good looking pictures.
All right, have a great night. Thanks for joining.